Hello and welcome to our second podcast here at GrowVC. I'm here now with Valto Loikkanen from GrowVC, one of the founders. And we were planning on having Jouko here as well, like last week, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it today. But fortunately we're here, the two of us, and we have a lot to discuss. So last week we focused on the discussion point of future of funding, as was suggested by one of our Twitter followers, actually. And this week our main topic is credibility, and how to convince your audience and how to build credibility. Like last week's topic, this one is very broad as well, but we can start discussing and see how and where we end up. And just a future point of reference, our topic this week as well was suggested by one of our followers. So take this as a suggestion that if you give us a topic, we're probably going to discuss it at some point. We actually do listen to these quite well. So our agenda for today is, first we're going to feature a startup from the GrowVC community. This time it's a company called LetMeLinkYou. And for our main discussion topic then, we will take on the topic of credibility. So let's start with the member highlight. LetMeLinkYou aims to facilitate a quickly moving world where everyone has several offline and online networks with different relationships per network. Contacts from all networks are introduced to each other based on needed niche knowledge or experience. LetMeLinkYou aims to make this process as quick and simple as possible, collecting all contacts in one place and enabling the user to connect two contacts with each other in seconds. And this the user can do using his mobile phone or the web page. Now, since there are an abundance of different social medias, and this one has a little bit of a different twist, so what's your initial reaction, Valto?
Yeah, hi everyone. I think that this is a typical problem that most likely have been coming from a real need, and so I think the model itself. I mean, LinkedIn has kind of this feature built in it, and to have to be honest, I haven't used that much of kind of the built-in introduction model. Of course, I have used a lot of looking around who's connected to who, and if I'm looking to get a contact to some person, I do go to LinkedIn and see who is connected to that person and who possibly could know that person to kind of maybe ask for introduction and such. So and introduction obviously itself is a very powerful tool, and I think it should be used more than people normally do use it. So I would say that doing it cross networks just makes a lot of sense. I mean, I haven't had that problem too much myself, but having that in a level where I would be looking for such a solution, but I could imagine that there is no such solution online, and it would be very interesting to see how that actually works, and if it's very painless, I think it would be something that definitely would add value very quickly to a lot of people, particularly because there's also people that some have different kind of contacts in different social networks, and someone may know someone because they're friends and be in different networks even, and then not have the same connection in LinkedIn where there would be a professional relations or such. So I think it brings very interesting possibilities there. Of course, it also comes down to how everything is kind of the security and the user, how they select whether they want to receive contacts from where and such, but those are just, I would say, details that are easy to solve based on the user feedback and such.
Yes, and I think with social medias there's always a question of usability, because things like what you mentioned about privacy and choosing the features, those are really relevant in these things, because if the solution is really easy to use and it adds value, then it's a very good combination for the user and the service itself.
Yeah, and one good thing about this is that they don't actually have to build the social network, which there's plenty of social networks already, so they're just providing connections between different social networks and ultimately connections between people. And I guess quite many businesses have shown that there is value on connecting people.
Yeah, that's true. And like you said, there are many social networks, so it's a quite a good approach to use these social networks, not create a new one, but use the existing ones and then try to create even more value for the user.
Yeah, and actually, I'm just looking at the profile in our service for LetMeLinkYou, and I'm looking at their proposal for funding that they are looking to raise, and I personally feel that's a pretty interesting offer that they have there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's an interesting concept, and I would like to try that service myself. I'm not sure whether they have the service in do they have any alpha version or what, but
they actually have
to test.
Yeah, they actually have a beta version out now, and I think you can actually apply to be a beta tester on their website, LetMeLinkYou.com. And yeah, I agree. It would be very interesting to see how the service works, actually, because that's a big part of the actual service, like getting a hands-on feel in how you can actually link different people with each other.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Okay, we can probably conclude that and continue on to our main discussion topic. But you can check out LetMeLinkYou in the GrowVC community, and you can apply to be a beta tester to actually see how the service works at their website. So now we can continue with our main discussion topic, and that was the broad subject of credibility. And credibility is very important for startups when convincing investors and other potential stakeholders for the startup's future. So how does an entrepreneur build that credibility, and how do you convince your audience of your credibility? What are your thoughts, Valto?
Yeah, that's definitely a broad topic, but I think one of the most obvious things is that you build credibility kind of during a long time, and it kind of builds up and adds up. So it's a slow process. Everything that you do can increase or decrease your credibility, and the kind of the downside of it, that is, it's very easy to lose credibility, and it's much harder to gain. So that obviously creates a lot of value for that meaning. So in the one of the reasons why we